Good morning, everybody. My name is Adam Evans, and I'm here today to share with you some information about SWOT analysis. But before we begin, I want to take a moment to say thank you to Moni and Flossie and everybody at the AMC Alliance, who is including me as part of the remote revolution for 2021. I'm really excited to be here today to share with you this information from Luke Air Force Base in Phoenix, Arizona, where it's a freezing 98 degrees outside. I'm here today with my camera crew, Tony. Hi, Tony.
Hi.
Thanks for being here. And I'm really excited to share with you, like I said, the SWOT analysis. Now, SWOT analysis is one of those things that you hear in every single business class that you've ever been a part of. It's a very basic building block, and it's a snapshot of what your business is set up to do. SWOT analysis is often included in all of the classrooms across the country as a basic building block for business. Unfortunately, a lot of students get the first chapter of what a SWOT analysis can be and they stop there. So today I wanted to take some time to break apart the different pieces of a SWOT analysis, tell you what it is, share with you examples of each piece, and then help you take it to another level. So I mentioned several times SWOT, SWOT, SWOT. SWOT, did you say? SWOT is an acronym because we need more of those in the military world. And it stands for SWOT, stands for strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. And it's a snapshot of what's going on within your company. It can be a very useful tool because it helps you analyze different areas of your company and then helps you create strategies that you can use moving forward. So if a SWOT analysis is comprised of strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities and threats, first we're going to have to know what do those four things mean. So let's start out with strengths, the strengths for a company. Strengths for a company are internal things that your company does well or provides an advantage to your company. Well, what does that all mean? Well, let's think about it. If you have a strength for a company, it's usually based upon your value proposition or the thing that you do as a company that sets you apart from somebody else. So take a moment and think about your company. Think about some of the things that you do within your company that sets you apart from everybody else. What do you do as a company that makes you unique? Jot that down. We're going to use it later. Next, think about something that your company does better than the competition. Is it that you offer more products? Is it that your products are maybe less expensive than other products on the market? Jot that down too. Basically, we're looking for things that your company does on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis that sets you apart from the competition in a positive way. These are always going to be things that you can control. So they're going to be things like the pricing of your objects. They're going to be things like the quality, fabric or threads if you're a t-shirt company. They're going to be things like availability for shipping. Is your product available online? Do I need to use PayPal to pay for the shipping? These are all things that could be advantages for your company over other companies that you have control over. When you're creating the strengths for your company, one important thing to remember is not to guess. And that's a very important part, very important part of all four aspects of the SWOT analysis. Don't just guess. Take the time to dig into the data to find out if what you think about your company is true. Now, as an entrepreneur, I know to trust my gut. And a lot of times, hi pigeons, a lot of times there are going to be opportunities for you. I love it. There are going to be opportunities for you. Stop trying to steal my limelight. To think about the different aspects of your company that you feel are your strengths. And you may absolutely be right, but make sure to have the data to back that up. So if you feel that your ability to produce 5 different objects or sell 5 different items on your Etsy store is what makes a strength for your company, make sure that you can illustrate that with a number of sales. So basically we're looking for data, facts to back up what you feel in your gut.
Adam.
Oh, are we recording?
Yeah, we're going.
Hi, I'm Adam Evans. You may remember me from such short films as, well, Strengths. And I'm here today with Tony, my camera crew, who I pay in shekels. If you're feeling overwhelmed already, it's because we've just gotten started on the SWOT analysis, something you've probably seen many times before, but haven't been specifically explained. So today we're breaking down each section, and don't worry, later on we're going to bring it all together and give you some examples of how you can use it in your business immediately following this film, which is guaranteed to be a blockbuster seller. The next letter in SWOT is W, which stands for weakness. And weakness is one of those things that we like to hide when we think about our own companies. But it's one of those things that you shouldn't hide. It's one of those things that you need to be honest with yourself. A lot of times we fear what we don't know, and a lot of times we hate the unknown. But as military spouses, we're extremely resilient. And so our weaknesses can often become our strengths if we learn to unlearn fear and hate. When it comes to weakness, think about the things that your company doesn't do well right now. Think about the things that other companies have an advantage of over what you're doing currently. When it comes to weakness, be honest above all else. The more honest you can be about your company and some of the things that provide challenges for you, then the more likely you are to pinpoint exactly what it is that your company is doing that it can change. Much like the strength category, a weakness is something that's internal to you. It's something that's within your control. So if you can analyze, take the time to reflect, then you can also take the time to create a strategy that will help you develop an opportunity to mitigate that weakness. Some of the weaknesses for a company might include that for
Unnamed business.
the food might not be the healthiest, or that you have a limited supply, or that you're unable to ship a product outside of the United States. All of these things could be internal opportunities for you as we move on to the next couple categories of SWOT. Shoo, pigeons. Shoo, you're my weakness. Right now you're my weakness. Go. I know hungry coyotes that would love you. Go. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Adam, we're live.
Come on.
Adam.
Yeah, oh, hey, Pikachu is mine. Yes. Hi, I'm Adam Evans, and we're here today on the Luke Air Force Base flight line. Well, the only one that they would give me access to anyway. And I'm here with my camera crew, Tony, who I pay in Happy Meals. Say hi, Tony.
Hi.
Today we're talking about opportunities. Opportunities is something that is external to your company that allows you to grow. So take, for example, me. I'm a level 41 Pokemon trainer, but don't let my elite status fool you. I'm still Adam from the block. When I think about opportunities and I think about my company, what I want to do is think about the internal strengths that I just created within my organization and think of ways that we can implement those strengths into the outside community. So when you're trying to think about opportunities in that outside community, think about what's going on. What are the current trends? What are some of the recent changes in your city, state, or nation that you could take advantage of? Basically, you're looking for opportunities that will help increase the strengths of your company that currently exist. Oh, hey, Carolyn. Are you still watching all those Disney movies? What decade are you on? 90s? Oh yeah, Little Mermaid was my favorite. I want to be a part of that world. What the heck? Are you kidding me? Good puppy. Good puppy. This dog is so well trained.
Adam, that's a statue.
Oh, sure enough. Hi, I'm Adam Evans. You may remember me from such films as Strengths, Weaknesses, Opportunities, and my book, Abercrombie and Pitch Deck. I'm here today with Tony, my camera crew, who I pay in compliments. Tony, you're looking today.
Thanks.
Yeah. We're moving on to threats. Threats are something that you want to be aware of at all times for your company. When it comes to threats, you want to think about what's going on in your external environment. Are there changes in legal restrictions? Are there changes in your local area? Are there changes to the environment in the sense of new construction that might be built that could affect business? Are there changes to taxes or tariffs? You basically want to take a look at some of the opportunities that you have to identify the threats to your business. Some of those threats may include things like new competition entering the market or overarching trends. So for example, if you own a fast food restaurant and the new trends begin with a healthier approach, you'll want to know what kinds of alternatives your company will need to take moving forward. If you Google SWOT, you'll find millions of examples of a SWOT analysis. It's probably one of the most Googled business terms that's out there other than Adam Evans. But just in case you're one of the few people that hasn't seen what an actual SWOT analysis looks like, let me draw one for you. Hold on, this will take a second. There we go. Take a look. As you can see, it's a 2x2 square that includes an area for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. All right, now we're going to get down to the meat and potatoes of this actual SWOT analysis. And what we want to do is create an opportunity for you to move forward with your company and make some savvy decisions. Unfortunately, in the many years of working with startup businesses, I've noticed that many people will use the SWOT analysis as the strategy piece itself. The SWOT analysis is intended to be just one of the many steps that you need to take to move the company forward. It's not an end-all be-all. So use the SWOT analysis as a tool to identify the areas that you can focus upon. Don't just use the SWOT analysis as an identity for your company. Next, let's think about some ways that we can use the SWOT analysis that you've created to move forward, identify and prioritize the things that your company can do to grow.
Okay, great. In this video, we'll use the SWOT framework to analyze Tesla and organize our thoughts about the company. Hopefully, a 360-degree analysis of its strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats will improve our idea about the firm's future outlook. Tesla was founded in 2003 and is on the mission to become the first successful pure electric vehicle producer in the world. Also, it aims to be one of 2 U.S. auto producers that have not filed for bankruptcy, the other one being Ford. Let's start with the company's strengths. First of all, everyone has heard of Tesla, right? So it definitely has strong brand recognition. Actually, Tesla is the most recognized electric car producer in the world. Quite an advantage with respect to other companies that are about to enter the industry. Moreover, many customers appreciate Tesla's innovator's spirit and the fact that it is a first mover in the automotive industry. Such originality, coupled with aesthetically pleasing design and positive customer experience with the product, justify Tesla's premium pricing and choice of differentiated competitive strategy. Elon Musk, Tesla's notorious CEO and major shareholder, is one of the most famous and appealing businessmen around the world. His ability to tell a story and involve the public is unmatched. By doing this, he wins over many people who actively follow his businesses and will likely become customers. What is very important, such customers can be very loyal if handled correctly, which is priceless in the long run. Tesla is attractive to people because it doesn't simply sell cars. The company sells a story, the story of an organization which is in business with an ideal purpose: to preserve the global environment. Probably this is Tesla's most valuable strength. Along with that, we can mention several other important advantages the company has. Its cars are ahead of the competition in terms of battery range and experience with battery production and recharging. Tesla has put in motion a plan that would make it the biggest battery producer in the world. The company intends to construct several gigafactories, 3 in the US, 1 in Europe, and 1 in Shanghai, resulting in a significant cost advantage against competitors who outsource battery production. Tesla's autopilot feature has been operational for several years now, accumulating more and more data and testing in real-life conditions. In a future where we will increasingly depend on autonomous vehicles, Tesla's experience with autopilot would be extremely valuable. Of course, we also need to mention the company's supercharger network, allowing Tesla owners to charge their vehicles for free in a very fast way when on the road. In a perfect world, this would do. However, we live in a fossil fuel-dominated world, so let's consider Tesla's competitive weaknesses too. Number one, and quite important, Tesla continued to burn cash in 2017 and 2018. The company has not turned a profit ever since it was founded. That's understandable considering that it grew rapidly with the goal of becoming a true global auto producer. Plenty of investments were made to achieve that. Negative cash flows are a problem, given that Tesla's stock price is under significant pressure from short sellers who believe the company is overvalued. The fact that Tesla isn't a traditional mass-market car producer became obvious in late 2017 and 2018, when the company started producing Model 3. The automatic production line it had constructed didn't function properly, and Tesla was unable to reach its target of 5,000 automobiles per week for about a year. This proves that it can be very hard to make the transition from being a premium sports car producer, delivering several thousand cars per month, to a mass-market company. It is very likely that the company will experience similar challenges when it attempts to realize cost efficiencies and improve margins. Traditional car companies have the advantage that they have been in the business of producing at scale for decades. Tesla is an innovator in its field, but some may feel that Elon Musk's idea to make all of their patents open source was a bit naive and idealistic, endangering the company in the long run, as it wouldn't be able to protect its inventions from imitation. The last weakness we'll add here is Elon Musk's divided attention. The fact that Tesla has a CEO who is responsible for 4 separate billion-dollar entities is a bit disturbing. First, is he going to be able to sustain such workloads in the long run? And second, how much of Elon Musk's time is spent working on Tesla? Besides strengths and weaknesses, we should also consider future opportunities too, right? Let's go ahead and list some possible developments that could help the company succeed in the long run. The electric car market is the future of transportation. Most people agree on that. How fast will the transition to electric vehicles be? Most people disagree on that. Nobody knows. Some experts believe it will happen over the next 10 years. Others, especially the ones involved with petrol refineries, claim it would take at least 40 years. One thing is certain, though. For Tesla, the faster the transition to electric vehicles, the better. Currently, the company is well positioned to win a significant market share of people switching to electric vehicles. In a favorable scenario, this could be great for Tesla, as very few of the other automobile producers are ready to compete in the electric vehicles market at full scale. So that's definitely one opportunity. Another one is that Tesla expanded its product range, remember? Because of their merger with SolarCity, the company now offers batteries, power walls, and other equipment related to production and storage of renewable energy. A rising demand for renewable energy could mean more business for Tesla. Furthermore, Tesla's huge industrial batteries will become a very interesting product line in the event the renewable energy market continues to grow at this pace. If it speeds up even further, the demand for storage of electricity produced by renewables will rise sharply. Of course, there are some very enticing opportunities ahead of the company in terms of economies of scale, increasing volumes of production, and hence lowering the cost of production. Think Model 3, for example. Economies of scope. Producing different types of vehicles will probably be more efficient when the range of products Tesla offers expands, and R&D costs can be shared between different models. Another exciting opportunity is factory automation. Elon Musk shared that, at some point, the production hell the company experienced was caused by too much automation, and the level of automation of its Model 3 production line had to be reduced. That was a painful experience. But now that Tesla has the scar tissue and has learned a valuable lesson, it will probably try to build up on what was attempted before, removing flaws from the automation process. This could result in improved production volumes and lower costs, especially in terms of production personnel. Okay, great. One of the weaknesses we mentioned was that Elon Musk divides his time between several companies. Well, this can be a problem, but it also can be highly beneficial in the right circumstances. Elon Musk is involved with firms like SpaceX, The Boring Company, neurotechnology firm Neuralink, and nonprofit organization OpenAI. At some point, it is highly likely that synergies between these organizations could help Tesla improve its competitive position and know-how, providing a valuable advantage against traditional auto producers. The last piece of our SWOT analysis are the threats ahead of the company. As we mentioned before, the gradual transition to electric vehicles can happen in 10, but it can also happen in 40 or more years in a favorable scenario. Slower transition is a significant threat because it strips Tesla from its first-mover advantage and puts it in a position to operate in a market that is not growing fast enough. Such a scenario isn't very likely, given that most research indicates the electric vehicles market is about to experience tremendous growth over the next several years. Of course, the entry of traditional producers is a significant threat, as we discussed. Firms like BMW, Volkswagen, and Daimler will undoubtedly enter the market. As Tesla continues to release new models, there is no guarantee production difficulties would not appear again. This is another threat. Finally, one has to consider tax incentives for electric vehicles that are allowed in the US and around the world. At the moment, governments subsidize electric vehicles through tax deductions and other similar incentives. In the US, for example, automakers are allowed to sell up to 200,000 subsidized vehicles at the maximum incentive rate of $7,500 per vehicle. Then incentives are halved to $3,750 per vehicle, and so on. Although people from the automotive industry have asked for these incentives to be kept intact, even after reaching the 200,000 threshold, US politicians seem reluctant to do that. So, discontinuing incentives for electric cars is another threat for an electric producer like Tesla. Okay, perfect. I believe this wraps up our extensive SWOT analysis, in which we looked at Tesla's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Hope it was interesting for you, and thanks for watching.
Brr, it's cold. I had to put on my cloak of invisibility to stay warm. But let's get down to the last part of this presentation, talking about the things that you can do with your SWOT analysis that you just created with your team. All right, hints and tips. 1, make sure that you bring your entire staff to help you create a SWOT analysis. Have them think about the different SWOT opportunities within the company and have them do it from their own personal lens. Have them also create all of the data so that when they are sharing the SWOT opportunities with the team, that they're not just using their gut instincts, they're also using data to back up the information. When you bring the entire team together, make sure that you are not judging all of the information that comes in, but simply placing it on the board for analysis. Remember that the SWOT analysis is not perfect, but it's also something that you can repeat as you need. So make sure you just get the information out there so that you can take a look at it as a team. By allowing each of your members from your different divisions to create a different SWOT analysis, you'll be getting a broader vision of what your company is doing. Multiple teams putting together information ahead of time will bring together a clearer vision of what your company is attempting to do. Don't just leave the snapshot of your company in a SWOT analysis as the end goal. Think of each of these opportunities within strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats as a chance to balance out the strategic goals that are overarching for your company. So for example, looking at your strengths as they relate to your opportunities is a great way to identify how you might utilize those strengths to take advantage of an opportunity. In the same way, take a look at your weaknesses internally as a company and identify ways that you might mitigate the threats that may be up and coming to your business model or to your overarching business industry. We'll go with industry. Interpretation of the SWOT analysis is key. Once you've identified all of the SWOT analysis pieces, you can then prioritize your top 3 items. Are you going to focus on your strengths and take advantage of an opportunity next? Or are you going to mitigate some of your weaknesses and make sure that you don't run into some of the pitfalls of the upcoming threats? Above all else, talk to your team. They are going to be valuable to identifying not only the SWOT analysis, but the pathways that your company will need to take as you move forward to take advantage of all of these opportunities. I recommend that you repeat this SWOT analysis with your team every 6 months to a year, which is about how long I wait on senior day at the commissary self-checkout lines. Ta-da! Oh, hi, I'm Adam Evans, and number 12 on the list of 12 military spouses you need to know from the AMSI Military Spouse Entrepreneurship Guide, as published by Stars and Stripes. I'm here today with my camera crew, Tony. Hi, Tony.
Hello.
I pay him in dog treats sometimes. He likes the texture. I know if you've stuck with me this far, we're getting ready for the exciting conclusion of our SWOT analysis. I'm very excited to say we're already ranking at about 6% on Rotten Tomatoes. So brace yourself, we're about to come to the dramatic conclusion. Before you begin making your SWOT analysis, make sure you have all the ingredients and utensils that you need. Something to write on and something to write with. Next, you're going to want to draw a 2x2 square. A 2x2 square. And in the inside of each box, you're going to separate with 2 lines. Your third step is to add the initials SWOT, representing the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of your company. When it comes to the strengths, ask yourself what is going well within the company that we can continue to build. Make sure that you have the data to back it up. When it comes to the weakness, ask yourself honestly what isn't working as well as we would like it to be. Make sure you have the data to back this up as well. While both the strength and weaknesses are things that are internal to the company, opportunities and threats are going to be external to the company. Opportunities are factors which could be helpful to the business if you took advantage of them. Threats are going to be external factors that are harmful to your business, the same way that opportunities are external factors that could be helpful to your business. The key here is to get to a point where you can recognize the strengths of your company that you should build upon, the weaknesses of your company that you should remedy or stop, the opportunities that await your company that you could continue to explore, and the threats that exist outside of the company that you should minimize as you move forward. One of the most common pitfalls that companies will run into is to stop at the point of creating a SWOT analysis when there are many more steps that you need to follow through and make sure that your SWOT analysis is an effective tool for your company. The next step in order is to make yourself a bowl of homemade popcorn that you bought from the store. Next, you're going to evaluate your SWOT analysis as a team and use the information that you put together to start thinking about some long-term and short-term strategies. You will be looking for potential pathways or steps that you could take in the short and long term that would assist your company be more successful. This includes looking for building on your strengths to explore your opportunities, as well as remedying some of your weaknesses in order to minimize the external threats. Don't forget that this can also mean that your strengths, or what you intend to build upon, can help minimize those external threats. The same way that if you take a closer look at your weaknesses and can convert those or remedy those into strengths, it may help you explore outside opportunities you never thought possible. Take a sip of your favorite adult beverage, and then come on back to prioritizing all of those potential paths that you've just created. Now, it's very likely that you will have more than 6, but I recommend bite-sized pieces. So if you're going to eat this elephant, start by prioritizing A, 3 short-term goals, and B, 3 long-term goals for the company. All of the pathways that you created in number 2, now is the time to prioritize those in order of importance. So make sure the one that's going to have the most positive impact on your company falls under the A list and is prioritized to be completed first, followed by B and C. Don't forget that just because you don't address the rest of your potential pathways doesn't mean that you can't come back later and address them. To add some accountability, go ahead and set a date on your calendar to check the progress of what you've done so far. An update. A good set of time frame would be somewhere between 6 months to 1 year in order to reflect on all of the progress that you've made. When it's in all capital letters, you know it's for reals. And what's most importantly is to keep working to see it through. You've put a lot of work into this SWOT model and thinking about planning with an entire team of what you're going to do next. If you don't see it through, the team's probably going to be pretty frustrated that you went through all of this work with no follow through. But if you do, I can guarantee you're going to be one step closer to your goals, your dreams, and your aspirations. There's only so much that we can cover in a very brief webinar online, but there are plenty of links to other resources that I found very valuable that include the AMC guide and a list of other opportunities that you have to learn more about SWOT analysis and some of the best practices that you can use. Of course, everyone is welcome to reach out if you have any questions, or click on the links above to learn more. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to everybody in the AMC Alliance community. I'd also like to say thank you to all the pigeons, my dog, my other dog, my husband, and my camera crew, Tony, who I'm paying and letting him go and have the rest of his day without me. I appreciate your time if you've made it this far, and have a wonderful day.